Good morning, Tahquitz. This is Tahquitz Sound Bar. My name is Elliette, and today we have with us Mr. Prickett. So what is your main job besides teaching?
Most of the time it's what I do nowadays. I coached here for 5 years when I first got hired, coached baseball. I've helped out with cross country. I've helped out with several clubs. I try to be as involved as possible. So just anything I can do to help out.
That's fun. Okay, and then your main hobbies. You did mention a lot of sports, but which one would you say is your main priority?
Well, coaching-wise, when I was growing up, it was always baseball. Baseball was always number one. I played basketball in high school as well. But out with friends, I'll do anything from ultimate frisbee to disc golf to tennis and pickleball, and anything that I can do to stay active.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get into this, I'm going to explain how this is going to work. Okay, so I'll be interviewing different teachers or staff about their music and then give them music off of my personal playlist that I think they would like. And then we put it on Spotify for you guys to listen to. Okay, so let's get into the questions now. What's your favorite playlist?
My favorite playlist? Oh, geez. I feel like I have so many nowadays. I have my go-to right now is kind of my gospel playlist. That's my default. But I have a country playlist I listen to a lot, along with a pop-punk playlist. That's kind of like my college days. It's very nostalgic for me, so I think between those three, those are what I usually find on my radio.
See, it's always good when you have a throwback. Like, it just brings you back to the good old days.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, then your favorite and least favorite artist, if you had to have one.
Okay, my favorite artist, they're not around anymore, is a band called Yellow Card. They were introduced to me in high school, and I've been to probably a dozen of their shows, all through Southern California. A least favorite artist. I really struggle with the screamo scene, so I struggle with bands like Slipknot and Atreyu and Korn and things like that. One, because I have a difficult time understanding what it is they're trying to say, but the other part of it is just I feel like it brings negative energy to me, so I try to keep it positive.
Okay. Well, I know me personally, I am a screamo kid.
Yeah.
So it is understandable that a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And it just sounds like you're getting screamed at half the time. So exactly. I don't blame you.
Some trauma going through there.
You already did mention a couple different playlists, but what would you say your all-time favorite is?
All-time favorite playlist?
Or like a genre.
Genre? If I'm talking about the entirety of my life, it's probably pop punk. I've been to more pop punk concerts than anything else, so Yellow Card, New Found Glory, Taking Back Sunday, bands like that were my fallback for tons of years.
That's good. And then, what would you say your go-to artist is?
It used to be Yellow Card, but now they're not around anymore, so I don't get any new music from them. Man, a go-to artist now. That's tough. Someone who's still making music. I honestly don't know if I have one. So much of the music that I listen to are bands that aren't really around anymore. But again, Yellow Card, Taking Back Sunday, Blink-182 I was big in. They're still playing around, so they might be my default now if I'm going to go to a show. If Blink's around, then I'll try to head out there.
That's a good one. And then you do have a lot of sports that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say your number one hype playlist is for your sports players?
So I created a game day playlist, and part of it was my music, but anytime I was coaching, it was always trying to find music they were interested in, so each player got to choose one song they had on the playlist, as long as I could find a clean version of it. But usually it's a lot of hip-hop, just something upbeat to kind of get everybody going. In the baseball world, there's a lot of 70s and 80s rock that they like to throw in there, so you see a lot of AC/DC and things like that, but most of it's usually revolved around the hip-hop scene.
Yeah, with me personally, with volleyball and like water polo, we do a lot of pop and a lot of, sometimes like we'll get rap in there.
Yeah.
Or, so I understand that, like there's a bunch of different random songs that kind of get thrown into the mix.
Yeah, I think the toughest thing with that though, when you're dealing with the hip hop and rap scene, is trying to find those clean versions.
The clean
that
ones.
where you're still getting words, because you'll put in a song and every other word is bleeped out, and so
Yeah.
you're just listening to static like half the time. So finding that balance.
Okay, and then I'm gonna drill you on this one.
Okay.
You have 5 seconds to answer.
Oh geez, here we go.
What is your guilty pleasure song?
My guilty pleasure song.
Yes.
I think because I was a '90s kid, it had to do with a lot of '90s pop. So my dad cultured us on listening to all different kinds of music. So we would listen to the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. Like I could probably recite a lot of their songs just because it was so big in our era. But because it's so nostalgic, a lot of that stuff still rings true today.
Yeah. See, that's what my mom raised me on, was a lot of that.
Yep.
And so I know when I'm driving home or like driving to school and a song comes on, my mom will cover the little like show, and then she'll be like, well, who made this song? What song is this? Like, so with a lot of those, I have to like remember it, or my mom's just not happy with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So-
there's songs that it's like so many people know the words to. So if it comes on, you're on a road trip or something like that, like the whole car starts singing.
Oh yeah.
So that nostalgia is awesome.
Okay, well that's all that for the questions.
Awesome.
So thank you for being here with me
course.
today. Even if setup was a little wild, but
Sure thing. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Okay, well that's it for today's episode of Tahquitz Sound Bar. If you liked any of his songs, you could find them down in the Spotify playlist below. Other than that, if you like our content, like it on this YouTube page. We're trying to get above the amount of likes that we had for the first episode. And if you haven't seen that, there's a link probably next to me. So, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.